Good day, wherever you're joining from. Today is another session we have for the month of November. Once a month, we have these sessions. Today, we've got Mitchell Taylor with us, and he's going to be taking us through crafting smart conversational agents with Copilot Studio and Azure AI Foundry. And he's someone who is long been in this data engineering and AI space for long, and I think he's fully transitioning into an AI engineer role. And I know we will benefit from his experience in both the data engineer space and also having to do uh, broad level kind of AI engineering. So I'm not going to take too much time so that he can have as much time as is possible. I will stop sharing, but I'll share his LinkedIn connection link in the chat so you can connect with him. He speaks a lot, so it's just unfortunate that Teams incorporates. He's not a new person in this space of presentation, so I'm sure you'll enjoy his session. So over to you, Mitul. I'm going to stop sharing my screen.
Yeah, thanks, Michael.
Yeah,
Um,
sure.
Hey everyone, hope you can hear me loud and clear. And sorry about the delay, as we are all in a technology world. We never know when technology goes down, so we need to be
Yeah.
careful with that. So as well, there are ups and downs of both the things, as we know. So yeah, let's begin today. So as everyone of you like must have heard about like what are agents, how do we make agents using different platforms and different tools all around. We have been using agents like ChatGPT, Claude in our day-to-day life. I believe there won't be anyone who is not using, but it's great if you are not using. I mean, but yeah, we get a need of it some or the other way. So what we are going to learn today is a subset of that or small part of that in Microsoft space. I mean, I've been working in Microsoft technology from quite a few years, and I've been doing some of my hobby related things and working and research and kind of thing, which I keep on building my own projects in Microsoft stack. So what we're going to learn today is how to build agents using Copilot Studio and how to integrate that with AI Foundry. So we all know that Copilot Studio is a great tool, is a low-code, no-code tool, and AI Foundry is also a great tool for building agents. So we'll see a small glimpse of how do we integrate the both of these tools and make some cool agents. So let us start with my small intro. I mean, Michael has anyways given it, but I have my so about myself, I'm a senior data engineer come consultant and working as an architect as well as long view systems. And I'm in techie. I love technology, and with my passion in robotics, swarm robotics and hardware and AI agents and data as well. I'm an active community member and with like connecting peoples and meeting new peoples and actively speaking on different topics related to Azure AI Fabric as well as multiple conferences. And I do contribute to the community conference as well by volunteering and organizing the conferences. And here is my LinkedIn. QR code, or maybe Michael must have shared with you my link as well. Happy to connect with you all and learn more about this space. As I understand that there's a lot more to learn in this thing. I mean, there's never a place, never a time where I could say that okay, I know everything. There's always I'm learning new things from the people I meet, from the sessions I do. I connect with everyone. So I'm here to learn more rather than share actually from you all. Definitely can share your experience, whatever you have in your chat or maybe on LinkedIn later on. So quickly starting with the agenda for today. So we'll go with like what are script-based chatbots, what is an agent, what are the different types of agents, what is Copilot Studio agents, and we will be looking at AI search. The main piece of the today's session is how do we use AI search and connect Copilot Studio with AI Foundry, and we'll have a small demo as well, cool demo to see how this things works as well, and Q&A in the end. So with the like if we go like back in time before 2022 where we didn't have ChatGPT, I mean this advanced, I mean when it was not launched. Earlier we used to have script-based chatbots. So what were script-based chatbots? Those are the chatbots which are driven using some predefined scripts, predefined intents. Content is stored into it, all the question answers, everything it's stored into it, and also there are different NLP toolkits, NLTK, and different NLP tools were used to build those chatbots. So those chatbots used to work on keywords or some triggers, those kind of things. So which were very specific. They were kind of static in nature, and they were not that dynamic. Could not perform more tasks in with a single chatbot. So if you need to perform two, three different kind of tasks, you need to construct two, three kind of chatbots. Those were able to deployed on. Mobile teams everywhere, but with some limited capability. That was the purpose. That's what we call as chatbots. I hope everyone. I mean, I did work one of the chatbots, and I developed one of the chatbots earlier in 2018, 2019. In that, I used to put like a lot of things. I mean, you have to just feed in the chatbot with each and everything that you would like to perform. So, which is kind of an automation or kind of an application, I would say. So then comes agents in this new world. So agents are like, I know everyone must be knowing about what are agents, but I think it's good to go through it before we actually start onto the topic. So agents are powered by large language models like GPT, Claude, Gemini, DeepSeek, and so on. And these agents are capable of natural, human-like multi-turn conversation. That's what we have observed with agents. And agents are meant for that, actually. If your agents are not meant to be like performing human-like conversation, then it's just another chatbot with the new tools. So let's not do that, and let's not confuse with chatbots and agents. So agents are made in such a way that you feel that okay, it performs multiple tasks in one single frame itself. I mean, and you are not using different kind of tools and everything to perform other kind of tasks. So it supports dynamic task handling from answering questions to performing some tasks like ticketing agents, booking agents, and different kind of things. And it can be integrated easily with any enterprise system, like your company website, your Teams, your WhatsApp, Slack, Facebook Messenger, etc., etc. Also, the agents are capable of triggering the workflows and actions and automation on its own. So the cool thing about the Copilot Studio or other agents are in the Microsoft stack, I would say, is the integration with Power Automate. And it's a very powerful tool. And using Power Automate, you can connect to your all your native websites, your APIs, and everything, and can integrate that with your agents as well. So and also it supports a multimodal interaction, like you can talk to your agent via chat. I mean, you can type it, text it, you can upload an image via on the calls, different kind of things. So one agent can be used in a different way. So we are going to see today in the demo that how can an agent process the image and provides the answer. That is something, a very good example of how the agent behaves. And also agents are something which learns and adapts and become intelligent. That's what agents are meant for. So it when it comes to a new question, it stores in the memory, it learns about it, and then performs on a day-to-day basis. So in this way, agents are someone who learn and grow. So you feed in information at one particular time, but later on it keeps on learning, it stores information, and it performs the task based on the information that it is storing in it, and the way it is learning from us when we ask the questions. And definitely these agents can be used in different industries like finance, HR, IT, etc. Everywhere agents are everywhere these days. So what we are going to see over here is agents can be developed and deployed too. So right now we are in Microsoft stack. I'll be talking about the Microsoft technology right now. As there are hundreds of other things where agents can be developed and deployed to, but what it limits to over here, I mean, is one is Microsoft Copilot. Everyone must have heard about Microsoft Copilot, and must be seeing everywhere on your keyboard, on your browser, everywhere. So Microsoft Copilot is there are the simplest of the agents which can be deployed to, as a Microsoft Copilot agents. It can be deployed to your applications or your custom websites anywhere. So let's see the spectrum of agents. This is very important. As I'm in a consultant, I'm from a consultancy background. So whenever we go to client and deal with them, we try to categorize agents into the categories like what type of agents is required. Is it just a retrieval agent? So retrieval agent works for like retrieving information and retrieving the data which is stored in the system, and just answer the questions of the user. The next is task-based agents. So task-based is like you retrieve some information and and you perform some task on those information. So like let's say there's an agent called as booking agent, wherein it fetches the information of the itinerary for particular trip, and then I say, okay, book a ticket for me as well, and it goes to website and book a ticket as well. So this way your agent can do different kind of task in one single agent can do multiple tasks. And the third comes an autonomous. Autonomous is something where it operates independently, dynamically planned. So there are multi agents. There are swarm of agents which are. I mean, I'm taking example of multi agents, but even single agent can be autonomous. So an agent which is invoked through an email. We send an email, your agent is invoked, and it do the task whatever it is designed to do for. So there is no human intervention. Like there is no conversation window where we go and say hi, hello, and then they start the conversation. So those are kind of autonomous agents. So as we see, the retrieval agents are quite simple to develop, less overhead, I would say. Where as we go to autonomous, the agents become more advanced and more complex to develop. So the complexity depends based on our task and need. But this is, I mean, I personally do. I mean, I categorize this agents into three different categories. Whenever I take any requirements or I have to design something, I put it into different categories, and then I start working on it. Like I'll work on a retrieval portion first, then the task-based portion, and then I'll see how can I automate this agent. So this helps us to grow in the space of like developing agents. So a range of tools for agent creation, what we have here is the first is for the end users like Agent Builder. So Agent Builder are simplest of all, which gives you a good UI to everyone, and those who are not much into development, no, not much into technical background, wants to develop an agent by connecting to a files in SharePoint. They just go to Microsoft Agent Builder, click their new agent, and it starts working. There's something called for makers, which is Copilot Studio for citizen developers, wherein someone who is interested in low code, no code technology and loves or making orchestration using the UI and everything. I mean, I'm a UI guy. I personally like developing things on UI. So that's Copilot Studio, and that is what we are going to look in our today's session. The next is for the pro code. I mean, for developers like Visual Studio, GitHub, M365 Agent Toolkit, using semantic kernel, different agentic frameworks are out there right now, and how these agents can be developed using complete code-based solution. So you can do the benefit of having complete code base is that you have more control, more personalization. That's something good over the tools like Copilot Studio, where you have less control, but it gives more flexibility as well, like with respect to integration, less overhead. If there's something you need to build in like less amount of time, Copilot Studio is the best thing. Like it has everything. I know it's not just drag and drop. It's an UI based tool, but you need to do how to do the orchestration. But you might be able to achieve your result much faster than you write your own code and developing the orchestration logic on your own. So these are three main tools or range of tools for agent creation, which I have categorized into. So today we'll be looking is like Copilot Studio and how to develop agents in Copilot Studio and take it forward. So as you see over here, this is the high level architecture of Copilot Studio. I mean, Copilot Studio is much more than this, but we would be looking at these components today. I mean, as I personally designed this architecture for simplicity to make people understand like what are the different components in Copilot Studio and what does it mean. So, I mean, if I may ask questions, I mean, how many of you have worked with Copilot Studio and actively working with Copilot Studio right now? If you can just raise your hands, that's fine. I mean, I'll just get to know. Yeah, Michael, that's great. Okay, cool. We have quite a lot of people, so that's a great thing. And you must be knowing that this tool is a it's very super cool. I would say. So I'll go through like quickly what are these different pieces in Copilot Studio. So as we see, there are knowledge sources. So knowledge sources are files. It can be your files, your public websites, your SharePoint libraries, your AI search indexes. You can even connect to your Fabric data and your Dataverse data, and so on and so forth. I mean, there can be like there are like multiple knowledge sources. Knowledge sources is nothing but where does your company data lies. So when we develop an agent, we are not developing it for like internet to search the internet or for public facing. We are developing it for our own organization, and our own organization data sets in multiple format, multiple systems. So Copilot Studio has got like a good amount of systems which it can connect to and fetch data from those different systems. If it's an external website as well, you can use using Power Automate. You can connect using API and fetch data from those external systems into Copilot Studio, even though the readily connectors are not available. So that's the beauty of the tool. There's something called as topics. So we'll go into detail into the demo when we see. So I'll just skim over here so that we get good time for demo. So topics are something we designed in Copilot Studio, wherein we mentioned each and every sections of how the agent should perform when some certain kind of text comes from user, what it should do, certain action it should do, that we put in topic. So there is called as something called a generative answer that I'll show you in the demo. There are actions, which actions is nothing but how does it connect to the prompt flows, the custom prompts. So Copilot Studio connects with Power Automate, AI Builder, Azure Blob Storage. You can specify different actions in Copilot Studio. And analytics is something, definitely feedback is very important for any agent that we develop. We need to know how the agent is working. So when the user provides a feedback in the end, and it captures everything in an analytics window, and which helps us to modify or enhance our agents. And channels is where the agents can be deployed, Team, Slack, Messenger, etc., etc. So this is the high level overview of how the Copilot Studio looks like. Simple architecture, not to bother much. There are very few components, which are the major components of Copilot Studio. The next is knowledge sources. So as we learned about knowledge sources, so there are like Copilot Studio's different knowledge sources like website, Dataverse, Salesforce, SQL, ServiceNow, SharePoint. Variable knowledge sources can be connected. But what we are going to look today is AI search, which I would say is a revolutionary RAG, retrieval augmented generation. So we write lines and lines of code to build a RAG system, but AI search in its own performs good amount of work directly, like semantic re-ranking. It can connect to the embedding model. It does the embedding, it does the vectorization, it does the semantic re-ranking, it does the indexing, it does the chunking, and many more. So everything. So it also deals with like extracting text from the images. So everything in a one single box called as Azure AI Search. So what happens is if we have some good large documents which needs to be processed. So what happens is when we give to the AI search, what happens is it takes the document, it chunks, creates the chunks of the complete document. Like it's very difficult for any system to process a large document, let's say 200, 300 pages. So what AI search does is like creates chunks, small chunks, like say 5 to 10 or 15 lines of partitions of those documents. It does embedding, and it create vectors of those data that is there in the document, and based on the vectorization technique. So when a question goes to using AI search, when the document is referred, it finds the answer much more quickly than you process it using direct document. So that's the beauty of the AI search. And today we will see how we connect AI search to Copilot Studio and AI Foundry both together. So this is my go-to tool. I mean, I like AI search a lot. So AI search can be used using Portal directly. There's a Portal wizard where you can create your indexes. But if you need more customization and more your own indexing thing, then there's a code-based approach as well for creating indexes, which is more powerful, I feel. And mm, I use both based on the requirement. But yes, there are direct functions of AI search which can be used in a code, and you can create index via script as well. So I use a script in Fabric and create indexes in AI search using that, because I have my entire process in Fabric right now. So if we see how this AI search works, so let's say this is my agent, this is my user, the prompt and query goes. So what happens is the question goes to the AI search, and when there's an index, data is indexed, there's a vector DB, and the knowledge source, the indexing is done on the knowledge source, whatever data is connected to it, and whatever information which it gets from here, That prompt plus question plus context goes to your LLM model, your GPT-4 or GPT 4.1, GPT-5, and it develops and like intelligent response, gives the response back, and you get the answer. So this is how the AI search works, and we will see this in live demo as well. So that so there are two components over here. One is my knowledge source component, which is in text, and one is my LLM endpoint like GPT-4 model, which drafts your answer intelligently, because your data is like, if you have like structured data anything, and which is like two-liner thing, but definitely when the response comes from agent should be very well formatted, much more professional tone with some emojis. So all these things is performed in this LLM endpoint, where your prompt, your question, your context goes everything together to this endpoint, and you get the final result over here. So this is how it works. I mean, behind the scene, when we get like very polished answer from our agents. So next is like building agents using Copilot Studio and AI Foundry. So AI Foundry in itself is a great tool of we can create agents in AI Foundry as well. But there is no orchestration logic as such in AI Foundry. So we might write our own orchestrator logic, and we call those agents and can do the task. But let's say if we are developing an agent in Copilot Studio, but we need to do two things, like get the vectorized AI search index and get the models. So Copilot Studio supports only limited amount of model. Let's say GPT 4, 4 and 5 is also supported now. It's in paid preview. But let's say if you want to use a model which is like Mistral or Grok or Fee4 or anything, you can deploy it in AI Foundry and get it in Copilot Studio via different ways. And that's we're going to see how we get those models. So with this kind of flexibility, we can experiment more and try more, use different models to solve any problem, because sometimes good, we might have to use different reasoning models which can reason in much better way to provide the output, rather than just like the general model. So that's why this becomes more powerful when we connect with this connectivity. This tool has like gone a way long. So yeah, we'll go into demo right now, and we'll see like how do we develop agent using Copilot Studio and integrating with AI Foundry, Power Automate, and AI Builder. So AI Builder is a very prominent tool, I would say, which do tasks for you like in a matter of time. I mean, you can get your results. That's the beauty of that tool. So before we start, I know we need, in order to develop agents in Copilot Studio, we need Copilot Studio licenses, definitely. But before that, I mean, this is like, this thing comes from my consultancy background. So if I have to develop an Copilot Studio for a client agent, but it's just not Copilot Studio. I need to have my Azure OpenAI services, my Azure AI search service, and the storage account as well in order to build this agent, because any agent that we develop is a combination of resources in Azure and that particular tool itself. So Azure is a big pool of resources where we pull out some of the other thing in building any application or agents that we do. So tomorrow, if you have to develop any agents or anything, make sure we think about this Azure services as well, along with our Copilot Studio licenses, the tokens, and all of the model charges and all other things. So let's go into this. So if we see over here, this is the Copilot Studio screen looks like. So I've created this laptop recommendation agent. So in order to create the agent, it's very simple. So what we do is we go to agents. Yeah, wow. So I mean, this just got updated, I think, right now, because I just saw this new screen. I mean, till afternoon, I was not seeing this. So what happens is, what would you like to do? Create an agent or create a workflow? So you can just write over here, what do you need? And it can start creating on its own. So what I've done is, it's a beauty of Microsoft that I've also seen a couple of times when I go for any demo, I see a new feature popped in by Microsoft at that point in time. So as we see, this is the laptop recommendation agent that we have over here. And if you see the different tabs at the top is like overview, the knowledge, the tools, the agents, topics, activity, and so on. So what happens over here is this is the screen which looks like, and you can give the instructions to the agent. This is very important right now. What we see over here, I mean, so without prompt, your agents are nothing. Without prompt and clear data, your agents are, I would say, it won't perform the way it is expected to do. So I've given some kind of instruction. So what happens, what this agent does is like, I'm not sure how many of you have faced this issue, but me personally have faced this problem. Like whenever I go to buy a laptop, I mean, there are tons of laptop available in market, which to go for, what are some best which fits in my budget and those kind of things. What's going on? When they started testing it, take it easy. So what this agent is does is like I have a laptop inventory of my organization stored in a CSV file, which is stored in a blob storage over here. And what I've done is I have I've indexed those data using AI search and connected those index over here in my agents. So let's go through this agent tab first, and then we will go to what AI search is. So what happens over here is we see like the instruction, the knowledge sources, and I'll go to knowledge sources, and knowledge sources is nothing but if we click on add knowledge, this many knowledge sources can be added. There are different. There are others as well, like Databricks, Snowflake, Confluence, Oracle, etc. So we will like deal with AI search. So AI search we will go. We'll click on Azure AI search, and this is my AI search, which is already connected to it, and these are some indexes you can see to it. So what happens over here is we will leave this window and we will go to AI search. So this is my AI search service created in Azure. I hope you must be aware how to create AI search service. It's very simple. We just go to marketplace, select this AI search, and click on create. And if you see, this is my AI search service, and what we do in like indexing data is we click on import data. My current this data is stored in blob storage. So there are three different kind of things: keyword search, which is just the keyword search, the RAG, retrieval augmented generation, which does the text and image processing, and multimodal RAG. So if there are any complex images or anything, we can go with multimodal RAG as well. Ours is a text-based thing only, so I would go with a RAG thing. I have my subscription. I'll select my storage account, then my container, my laptop data is here, and parsing mode. So parsing mode, what I prefer is delimited text. So with delimited text, what happens if it takes out each and every field from the CSV. So it considers like one row as one particular item. If you do it default, it considers the whole document as a one single chunk, which is sometimes confusing for the agent to understand. So it's good to go with delimited text so that it parses each and every row, and you get the field as well to customize it further. We click on next over here, and we click on I click on description to vectorize because my description column is used, and I try to vectorize it. As such, this is small data, but vectorization is used for the column which contains the maximum data, or like lines and lines of data. We use that column for vectorization. And we go with AI search service, Azure OpenAI service, which is my this AI which is over here in AI. This is the AI Foundry looks like, and these are the different tabs in AI Foundry. So we can deploy the model using here, deploy base model, and we go and deploy the model that we want. So right now we would need this text embedding model because we are just doing embedding right now over here. So I'll be using this text embedding model from here, and I click on next and create. So it will take around 5-10 minutes depending on the file size, sometimes 15 minutes. So what I've done is I've already created the index for this indexes. There are so many indexes. I create laptop here. So this is the index which I already have, and this index is connected to my knowledge source over here. I hope you are clear. How do we get indexes over here? After that, there is something called as tools. So in tools, I have created an AI builder prompt in AI builder. So if there is any harmful messages which comes in, So these are some guardrails we can create. So what happens if some harmful messages comes? It blocks those messages and restart the conversation. We can do it for harmful messages, PII messages, etc., etc. So and based on what we need to do, we can define it into the prompt. What we need to do. So if we see over here, this is the harmful message prompt, which is created. So this is AI Builder window, I would say. So what AI Builder does is we write the instruction over here. We give complete instruction, like it needs to it analyzes the message and it flags the message and gives the response over here. So that's how this I'll show you where this is exactly used. So this is the tool, which is one of the tool which is connected here in Copilot Studio. This is something called as topics. Agents we are not looking into because we are not using multi-agent over here. But if you have like multiple agents in your requirement, you can connect those agents with each other and they can talk to each other. So these are some system topics already given, like the fewer system topics. This laptop recommendation is created by me. So what happens is it has the information like what to do when there's something called as goodbye or bye bye, what needs to be done. So there's a flow defined over here. So this is how the topic gets triggered. It can be chosen over here. So let's say when a message is received, an activity occur and it's invoked or something. So how the topic should be triggered, which is defined over here. You can create this question tab by clicking on the plus, send a message, ask a question. So it comes to the user. So if would you like to end our conversation? If yes, then what happens? Go ahead, I'm listening. This kind of message. So it's just like what do you need to do? Simple. If you so what I do is while developing an agent, what I do is I do it on a paper first. What the flow should look like, and then it's easy for me to put those things over here in the in Copilot Studio. It becomes much more easier. And let's say there is a laptop recommendation, which is the custom topic I have created. So what happens is it does some kind of task, and if you can see over here, there are multiple things happening in this uh, topic. So the topic is triggered is like this tool can handle queries like this laptop recommendation, recommend help with laptop. So we have to just mention some keywords on which this topic can be involved. And what I would say is we would test this and then I'll go to let me go to the different tabs first. So this is how my this topic looks like, wherein this is my custom topic. There are some system topics like conversation start, conversational boosting, end of conversation, escalation, fallback. So these are some system topics given by Copilot Studio for all the agents, and this gets invoked automatically when this kind of action happens. So if you see conversational boosting is a topic which gets triggered when there is no intent is matched to it. So what happens is that harmful message thing I've put it over here. So if something harmful comes, how to call the prompt flow which we have created in AI Builder. So we go to plus, uh, we go to add a tool, and this is the prompt here, the harmful message, the prompt which is already created. So this is how we create the prompt and we call it over here. And this is the generative answer node. So this is the heart of the Copilot. So this is the node which uses the LLM model and provides the answer on the screen. So this is something where the intelligent answer comes in. The rest is just the messages which we give in this configuration, but this is where it connects to the knowledge source over here, and it performs the task and connects with the LLM model which is behind the scenes working and provides us the answer. So generative answer node, and this is the main node which consumes the tokens as well, the generative answer node. So let's quickly test this agent. I know we are short of time as well, so I'll start with a new conversation. So hi, I need so I'll start with hi rather. So as you can see over here, it comes like, hello Mithul, how can I help you today? So we can personalize it so that it feels like, okay, we are talking to agents, but I feel like we are having a human-like conversation. I need a laptop. So It's behaving little weird. I think there's some modification going in the tool at the back end. Sometimes it happens that Copilot Studio is updating itself. And interesting. Yeah. So the first question it asks is like what type of laptop you're looking for. Let's say I'll say a personal laptop. So this is the adaptive card. This is known as adaptive card. If you can see over here, I can design an adaptive card over here itself and can give this good looking UI right now. I mean, it can go directly as a message as well, but this looks better. 13-inch and Windows 11. I'll just submit these details. So it gives me like this is a one laptop matching in from my entire inventory, and this gives me like this is the type of laptop that you will. So it's your need, and it says me. So this is the first portion is a retrieval agent. So it retrieves the information which is stored in the inventory. Do you want me to send this detail in an email? I say yes. Then what I'll do is I'll give my email ID over here. And I submit. Details sent. Would you like me to assist another recommendation? No. And it asks for some of the feedback question that it has, and in the end it asks for the feedback. So I say yes, it was good, and I did get an email. I'll just get on the screen for you all. So this is the kind of the email which I got. So not too great, and I mean we can format it well, but yeah, I got the email. So this is something known as like task. We are performing a task along with retrieval. So this is retrieval plus task based agent, and this is my conversation is over. So this is how we see the laptop conversation agent. And as I told you, there's an analytics tab where you can see all the conversation which has happened with your agent. Uh, Start tracking the conversation. I mean, I didn't have too many conversations right now. I had it a few last month with it. And as you can see over here, you can track different kind of things from the agent. You can see select the date as well. You can download the session as well and do whatever you want. These are the channels tab. This is the channels has been where your laptop can be deployed. Let's say Teams, and you can deploy your agent to Teams. And I'll just create it on my screen. So this is how it looks on Teams. Same thing, but in a like your user will use it in this way. So this is how your agent can be used from end to end. Now let's look at another agent, which is same the laptop recommendation agent itself. But so in that agent, we saw a lot of topics, right? So what to do, how to do, and everything. So in this agent, what we've done is we have not created any topic. There are some system topics which are already there, and I've given all detailed instruction like what to do. And there's something called as orchestration, which is generative AI mode. If we go to settings, so that agent had classic orchestration, wherein it goes topic by topic and uses the flow which is defined into it, which is sometimes a requirement, but sometimes there is not that kind of requirement. So what you can do is you can click on orchestration as yes, use generative AI. So it uses its own knowledge, the tools which are there, the topics and everything, and provides the answer by combining everything based on the instructions given to it. So I'll quickly go through this settings tab. So this is generative AI, yes. So if this goes yes, there are a lot of other options comes in, like if there's something called as deep reasoning needs to be done, it is available. The other agents can be used. The agent tab which I showed you can be used only if generative AI mode is enabled. And you can see over here the agent model. So these are the different models which you can choose from here. How your response should look like, how the user feedback should be. all different kind of things can be done from this settings tab. So what happens over here is I've given there are no topics. If you see in the topic tab, these are some standard topics which are there by default. There's nothing I've defined over here. Now what I'll do is I'll simply say I need a laptop. It has this knowledge source connected. Okay, it's becoming. So it asks me first what is the primary use case, what RAM, what memory, everything, because I've defined everything in the instruction. There's nothing else I've given. And also, as we know that we are not some kind of person who will write everything, I need this for personal and this is the memory, this is the RAM, nothing like that. So what we usually do is we directly give this. Okay, I need a personal laptop, 8 GB, 1 TB, 13-inch, Windows 11. And it detects on its own and it finds the answer. This is the answer it finds. I mean, it gets it from the knowledge source and gives the output. Now, yeah, confirm an email. If you want me to recommendation sent to this, just let me know. So what happens is as I've logged in through my email ID, it's asking me that recommendation. But what we can do is if we even though do not specify anything and just give name space email ID, it takes from the directly. This is the email flow which is built in Power Automate and it sends the email directly. And you can see this flow is invoked over here and I received the email. So this is cool as well. But so this is good because Copilot Studio is now matured, I would say, and this works really fine with just instructions. But yeah, if you're really new and trying something on a very first time, I would recommend going with the topic based approach. Switch off the generative AI mode, start with the classic orchestration and see how the flow is going so that you will get more idea and more development thoughts. And definitely this both can be integrated together, this both modes, that is also possible. But for learning purpose or very beginning, I would recommend go with that classic approach. But this is, you see, it's like I'm not defining anything, I'm just writing down, I'm connecting all my tools and everything and it does the task. So even this works really well over here, and I received the new email as well. Um, I'll get it on the screen. This is the latest email, and you see the time is 8:57, which is just a minute ago. So I got an email for this Zen book. This is the Zen book which it recommended me. So this is how we are using like different tools, the Power Automate flow over here. The next agent, which I talked about. So this is my third agent. So what happens is I have created an repair. So what happens is this agents provide the estimation days to repair my car. So what happens is in this thing, I've created power prompt, custom prompt in AI Builder, which there are instructions given to it, and I'm using this model from here. So what this is the beauty of this. So you can see the AI Foundry model. So when you click on plus, you give the URL and everything, which is this, and you can use this model directly over here in your AI Builder prompt. So this is how you integrate your AI Foundry model with AI Builder, and this AI Builder is integrated to Copilot Studio. So this is how you get your custom model to Copilot Studio. So this prompt does is like takes the image of the car, process it, and provides the output to us. And creating this prompt is also very cool, I would say. Let's go to like custom prompt. Build your own prompt, and you can mention like create a prompt which checks image of car and provide repair estimate. I'm just mentioning in brief, not going in much detail, but to get the first layer of template, you can just write some instructions and it gives you this complete prompt, and then you can change it. So I've changed the prompt a lot based on the response I get. Sometimes the response is not that accurate, so you put that accuracy thing in your prompt, and this can be done. But this is how you create your prompt. And this is the topics over here. I've defined the car estimate topic where I'm calling that prompt using actions. Okay, so we'll test this quickly. I know we're running out of time, but this is the last thing. Uh, provide repair estimate for below, and I'll give a car image to it. So below is the repair duration estimate, severity of damage, license plate number as well, car color, car make and model, additional details like driver side airbag deployed, everything, number of days 10 to 20 days depending on availability. So this is something very useful. This can be also used in insurance industry, wherein your insurance quote can be just provided by looking at the damage in the car and provide the estimate for insurance. So this can be a good application used by different industries. So it asked me, can you help me with the name for your booking appointment? So my name is Matul. So what happens is I've used entity over here. So entity is something, another thing in Copilot Studio where you can define the entities directly. So like, what is the entity? Like, are you identifying the name or city or anything from the message which is sent to you? So I've given my name is Mitul, or you can send it to Mitul, something like that. So it pulls out Mitul as a name from it because I've given this entity, and it tells me, okay, thank you, Mitul. Can you please help me with tentative appointment and date? So what I do is I'll just give this. So I know we all are like, we won't mention in detail. So we'll just give this 15:11 a.m. So I've given this date and time entity over here. If you see over here, there's a date and time entity. It picks that entity like, thanks, we will book you for 15th of November at 11 a.m. So this is how you can define as an booking system, I would say, completely your booking appointment system or insurance system, wherein you can define this entity as well. So because we have to think from the user perspective, because users are not going to tell us the way agent needs. I mean, we are, if we talk to any automated agent system, we will talk to as if we are talking to someone, some human. So we will write anything and everything. So we have to make this intelligent agent so that it understand things very accurately. So this is where these features are very important, wherein it, how we can use this entities and everything, and picks out of it city, country, etc. And uh, the book, I mean, this is a booking agent, so it books accordingly and perform the desired task. So this is my car repair estimate agent, and even this can be deployed to Teams and everywhere. Yeah, so this is something high level of how Copilot Studio is, and how do we integrate this models into it. How do we use Power Automate and AI Builder Flow in Copilot Studio? So yeah, that's something from my side. Yeah, open to any questions that you have. Hope you got some gist of Copilot Studio and AI Foundry and got some knowledge onto this. Thank you.
Oh, thanks a lot. Like, I thought I knew Copilot Studio. But I know there were so many things I didn't know, but I didn't know that, there's this entire orchestration part. I was mostly using the Gen AI. And when I watched online and when I was
Mhm.
looking for help online, very few places, very few tutorials online show, all this deep end that you have shown. And I'm very glad that, I am
Okay.
actually even in this session. So we've got about two questions already. And if you have questions, to everybody still in the call, if you have questions, you can raise your hand and I think you can actually unmute too, but as long as we do things orderly. So let me start with Ahmed's question. His is very straightforward. It's like, oh, he likes your slides. Like, are they going to be shared after the session? I said I will ask you, if you are okay. I don't know if, there are things
Yeah,
that
we
are
can
there that might be difficult for you
share
to
this.
share, but is it a yes or like
Yeah, we
a...
can share the slides. Not an issue.
Okay, I mean, good news.
Yeah.
So to get the slide, I think the easiest way is that I will just send it to everybody in the community. So if you are not yet in the community, make sure you join. That's just the best way, so that way we don't ask people for their email or make things more complicated. Then we've got one more question from from Charan. I hope I'm pronouncing their name correctly. So the question is, when you are showing the part of connecting to Azure AI Foundry model, this person came up with the questions of, is there any specific sources to understand tokens and how they are charged? That's the
Yeah.
question.
So there are two things. So tokens first, when we design using Copilot Studio and AI Foundry, so Copilot Studio has got a credit-based thing licenses. So it's like licenses like pay as you go in Copilot Studio, or you directly take the Copilot license where everything is covered, which is $30 a month. Or there's a message pack as well, like 25,000 messages for some $200, something like that. So that's one part on Copilot Studio. But there's something called on Foundry models. So if we see on models, there's a model catalog in this Foundry. So over here, you can see all different kind of models, and there's a pricing calculator separately as well, where you can see yeah, how many tokens are available, and there's cost of token as well. I mean, this window has changed a bit from last time I have seen, but see price details here. Yeah. So there are a number of factors which depends on your pricing. So you have to go. It won't be like a straightforward answer for prices, but you can go to this pricing screen from Microsoft and you can select your region, your currency, and which model you are using, and you can go from there. I mean, that's the best thing I would suggest anyone who looks after like how much tokens or how much. I mean, how much your price would be the in the end of your model deployment. So this pricing screen can be used, and also this high level model comparison can be checked over here. So we check the accuracy, the integrity, the price as well for any models that we used. Hope it helps. It answers your question, Sharon.
Thanks. I think
Yeah.
that's a good. And then before I give the mic to Don, because I see his hand is up, Emilia has got a question. So they are saying, "Hi, I'm trying to understand what's the difference between just using ChatGPT here and this agent, this whole thing that you've developed. Like, I'm guessing they want to know, what's the added value that will make one take this route."
So what is the difference is between chat GPT here? What is the agentic part in this? So agentic part here is so first of all, if I say this agent which I have developed right now is on my company organization data. So I have my organization very secure data that we have. Every organization has as data. So I have to build something on that. Whether Chat GPT is something very generic, I would say it's publicly available to everyone, but we don't want our organization data to go out in public. So this is a secure environment where I'm developing an agent like ChatGPT, I would say. So this is our job. How do we develop that agent? So this is the simplest of the example which I have shown over here. But you can create like put lot of tons and tons of orchestration over here and make it work, perform different kind of tasks. So that is something an agent does on my company's data and not publicly. So that is the agenting thing over here. Hope did it answer your question, Emilia?
And I can even say practically too, there is a client that I work with that they've got, it's just now I'm understanding that maybe this is what they use. So if we want to get any help from the service desk, so they had this, you know, I'm guessing it is the same agent approach because I could see the adaptive cards pop up too. So I could just say, oh, I'm trying to use a software and I don't have access and it will automatically ask me some questions
Yeah.
and prompt me to fill a particular form to request for that software. Some other times I could say I need a power bank or I need a headset and it will direct me to the right thing and it will answer my questions, but it's using information that is within the company. It is take automatically, you know, detecting who needs to approve. And I think those are the things that I've seen from what you've shown. And I strongly believe, that the company also used this tool that you've shown me today in this call. So, Don, I think we have you next.
Yes. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Sure, yes, we do.
Yeah, hi, me too. Thank you for the presentation. I wonder if you have any suggestions on when to use uh, AI Foundry, such as an Azure AI search, and use the
Your audio went off. You said AI Foundry, AI search, and then we didn't hear you anymore. Done? Me too. Do you hear him? Maybe.
No, I don't hear him.
Okay. All right.
I see a blue line popping. I think he's speaking, but we can't hear him.
Yeah.
I mean, his question was good.
you hear me?
Now
Yeah,
we hear you. We don't know what happened. So you were saying you saw us, you saw him use AI search, Azure Foundry, and I think you wanted to ask, like when at so just if you could go as far back as that point.
Yeah, can you hear me good now?
yeah,
Yes, yes.
Oh, okay, sorry, sorry about that. Maybe you see my hands got raised again. I just tried to lower it. Yeah.
that's okay.
Yeah, okay. Oh, I wonder just do you have any suggestions on when to use AI Foundry, that Azure AI search versus the Copilot Studio knowledge, or even using MCPs on the Copilot Studio, just use Copilot Studio side,
Yeah. So
the
that's a
knowledge.
good question. I mean, even I have been always into dilemma of like when to use what. I was struggling a lot
Yeah,
initially when I started using these tools. But the thing is that it depends on different parameters. The first thing is the skills. Who is developing it? I mean, I'll talk from the client perspective. Like, what client is looking for the first thing. Are they looking for something in a very short time and something which is simple and easy to understand for them to take over, handover of that? Or they are like readily they want more control customization of their own, and they are ready to wait for a good amount of time, and they have like good pro coding skills. So as I shown in my slide that Copilot Studio is for citizen developers where there's a low code no code approach. So someone who is like into low code no code thing want to develop an agent with less control over it, because you cannot control many things in Copilot Studio. As if you have seen, it's a black box tool, I would say. You can do very large amount of things but with less control. Whereas if there is something where you need more control, you need to design your own orchestration logic using your agent development toolkit, your semantic kernels, your MCP.
yeah,
um, in that case, you develop your agents in AI Foundry. There's an agent tab in AI Foundry. If I can, my screen is still visible to you, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So if you see over here, so there is an agent tab in AI Foundry where you just develop your agents. You connect your knowledge source from here, this agent things. And how do you want to communicate this agent? Make this agent communication like sequential, or a group chat or parallel. These are different things, because all these things you cannot design in Copilot Studio. It does in the way it is supposed to do. I
sure.
mean, it is defined to do. But you need more customization. At that point in time, you use AI Foundry approach rather than using Copilot Studio. So you need to be good in development as well with when you are using in AI Foundry, and you have more customization, I would say. And with respect to AI search, so AI search is something where you have to like process PDF documents, a lot of unstructured data. AI search works on structured and unstructured data both, but with unstructured data is much more powerful, I would say. So you have a lot of unstructured data. Let's say you have like tons and tons of PDF in your organization, which needs to be processed. So like processing whole PDF is not possible if you directly put it on SharePoint and connect it to Copilot Studio. So what you do is you introduce AI search between that. You vectorize your
Mm.
data and then you feed it to Copilot Studio. So your this becomes much faster processing. So
Yeah,
that's where you use AI search.
yeah, give you more scalability that way.
Yeah, more capability and much more accuracy in AI search. So AI
I
search
see.
has got good accuracy rather than just putting my. So I had an option of like just putting my document into my knowledge source. I can do that as well, but that won't give me that level of accuracy which AI search gives. So AI search also gets the text out of the images that is there in your document. So that is the reason you use AI search. So yeah, and AI Foundry. So this is, you see agents and all. You can quickly configure agents in AI Foundry. and you can use this in your code the way you want. You don't want Copilot Studio to define how your agent should communicate. But if that is much more your need, so it depends on your need, your budget, your skills, which tool to use.
Have
Hope
you
that.
worked with the structured data
Yeah. So
using?
so right now this laptop is laptop data is structured data, I would say, and also I work for one of the client wherein there's a structured data, huge huge structured data, I would say, and AI search still works on that structured data. So there are columns, different columns in it, and we have to vectorize those things and provide answers to the user, and it works well on structured data as well. The data which is stored in Fabric Lakehouse.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Wow. Any questions? So we always have two questions we ask every guest we bring, and but just to mention to those who are still here that if you've got any question, you can still ask, and maybe I can do a honorable mention. We've got a special person in our midst today. So for our December session, the guest speaker, Alexander Tolov, is already in this session. So just to mention that, uh, next month, he's going to be taking us on something that I think he's going to build on top of this knowledge and also excite you. So just ensure if you're in this session, don't miss that. I will send it out when the details are ready. But now back to the questions that we ask every presenter will bring. It's so Mitul, I know you've got decades, years of experience in this space. It's not just even when it became exactly uh, this kind of outlay, but even when things were very different tool wise, company needs wise. And so my question is, how did your journey start? How did you get into what you do now? Has it always been the plan? Has it always been that way for you from like maybe kindergarten? You were already like planning it out that this is the path I'm going to follow, and you strictly followed the plan and you are here, or did you have a very different kind of journey?
Yeah, that's a great question, Michael. I would say so. Kind of like I plan things in my life, but not always it goes as per the plan. We all know that. So sometimes you have to go with the flow. But my main curiosity always is into technology. I love technology since my childhood. I mean, so I used to like repair things and machines and everything. So that has been my passion always. And as I mentioned that I had my deep interest in robotics as well. So during my college time, like 14, 15 years ago, we used to build autonomous robots. And I also built like complete swarm robot system, and I have published research papers as well onto that. So that has been my interest since my college times in field of technology and robotics and everything. So and then definitely I know that I had to go into IT because of my interest, and I started my work with the data thing. I have always worked with data from the beginning of my career, and I had interest in machine learning and AI as well. So I did my PG diploma in 2018-19, distance learning 1 year program. So I learned machine learning and artificial intelligence, and then I switched to cloud. As cloud came in, I took that certification. I switched to cloud, and then we heard about generative AI. I was definitely interested into it, and I took certification into that, started working into that. I got projects in my organization, did my own hobby projects as well, and that way I got into my this journey. So the data thing, so my curiosity has got me into this thing. I would say I've been always curious to learn new technologies and meet new people, learn new technologies. The way we met at the conferences, we connected, so that's what I like. And I always keep on trying new things and keep on learning new things. So that's what has got me to this place. I mean, yeah, there's a lot more way to go. I mean, many things to learn, I would say. But yeah, this is what has been my journey till now. So I was always into like technology space, data and stuff. So when I was in data, then now I got a chance. So whenever I take any conferences or any sessions, I do explain the importance of data as well. And in this as well, like whatever agents that we build, the grounding data should be very well constructed and organized, I would say. So before starting any agent building journey, make sure that our data is good enough, stored in a correct format, not too redundant, not too junk. Make sure we work on our data in a much better way, and then our AI projects is like 40-50% on that. 50%, 60% is data, I would say, in any AI agents project. So this has been my experience working in both this agent and data field.
Oh, wow, thanks. And the last question is, I'll tweak it a bit. So it's if someone is getting into the AI engineering space right now, there's so many tools, so many options, you know. You helped me out a bit. It's just I don't want to use that to color the answer, but I know I'd come to you at the point where I was confused about what to use for a product, and you gave me guidance, and I followed your guidance, and I got some clarity. So that is even me that I feel I am always surrounded by people in this space, and that's how I got there. But what about someone who is completely new to data engineering, to AI engineering, and they are interested and they just want to get in now? What would be your advice on how to get in properly, what pitfalls to avoid, the best way to learn, the best way to get the competence, and even if they don't work somewhere where they are exposed to these tools and applying it, how can they get the relevant or beast kind of project or get themselves into somewhere where they can be able to build something outside of just practicing what they see on
Yeah,
tutorials?
that's a good thing. I mean, I'm just trying to. So to start the journey, like the way I started is I did my certification in generative AI. I would say I started from there. So I learned about what generative AI is. So first we need to look like what generative AI and what this agent field is. Right now, we can start studying from there. I mean, we can take courses from Udemy or YouTube, LinkedIn, small courses from there, or maybe paid courses outside as well. Anything works. So that is a journey to be started. I mean, just to learn about what these things are actually. Then we go to tools. Some tools like there is Azure, there is Databricks, and different kind of things out there in market. So we can go with either something which is open source or something which is like standard tools like Microsoft Azure, because I have been working with Microsoft Stack since long, and I haven't got much chance to explore on open source till now. But yeah, I was on a Microsoft Stack, so I started my journey there. Started learning, took Microsoft certifications, and learned onto that, and did a lot of courses from Udemy. Personally, I did in order to learn these things on my own. So I got to into this, and when I started working with my clients, I got to know their problems and how to solve their problems, which has helped me more that way. So industry problems, when you solve, you get to learn more. But yeah, if you need to have a foundation, you can start with like doing some small programs on what agents are and why do you need agents. Maybe that is the first thing we need to say. Do we really need an agent in an organization, or it can just be an automation thing? So that is something we need to always solve this problem first. Do we actually need AI over here? And if yes, what level of complexity agents are required? And from therein, we can start our journey and take small courses from like Udemy, LinkedIn Learning, and YouTube, or maybe paid courses outside. I did it from Upgrad, I would say, and multiple platforms available for taking these courses and to learn more.
Oh, thanks. And Emilia sneaked in one more to say, can you please advise on a good source for building data agents? I'm looking for good examples.
Good data agents. So, I mean, what kind of agents? I mean, example as in complete end-to-end example, Emilia, or because I've got this. Maybe what I would say is good source is like think about some problem which you can solve. I mean, some problems. So the auto-vertex agents, if you say, I'll just give my own example in 2 minutes. The auto-vertex agent which I shown you. So what happens is 2 months ago, I was pulling out of my car from parking, and there was a car behind my on the driveway, and I see it, and I got bumped into that. And I was worried. Now what will happen? I need to call the. I don't want to include the insurer definitely because it was a small dent. So I took a photo of it. I created this agent. I gave that photo to it, and it gave me an output that okay, this is a minor scratch and it will cost you around $500 to $700. And then I thought, okay, it's not a big hole in my pocket. It's like okay, $700 is fine. I can pay it off to someone whom I bumped into. So then I went after, then I got the body shop appointment after 2 days. So I went there, I explained them everything. I took that person as well, and it quoted me around like $700. You $750 would be your charges. So which
Wow,
was
it's
similar
also
to what
accurate.
was accurate. And so then I thought, so this way I found a problem. I know let's use technology to solve the problem. I've developed this agent. Now this can be extended to many more things. And this worked good for me. So this is something I try on my side. Even you can try on your side some kind of examples. So always be curious of like how you can solve problems using technology. So that's what I do, and I try to use it in like as much as real life problem where it comes into. So you can also good for good examples like employee onboarding. So in any organization, if we have to onboard employee, what our task we do there in Microsoft, there are some links available. They have some template on employee onboarding, which can be used to develop agents. So that can be a good example. You can try it out, employee onboarding agent. But this was a good example, my real life experience, which proved these agents were useful for me.
Yeah. Okay, so I think we've come to the close of this month's session, and thank you very, very much. And to everybody who has stayed this long, again, a big
Yeah,
thank you.
thanks everyone, and thanks for
Yeah,
apologies for the delay. There is some issue with Teams, and I was not able to get in. But good that you all stayed and was hearing me till the end. Thanks a lot, everyone, for
yeah,
this. Thanks,
and
Michael, for inviting me.
yeah.
Thank you.
I'm glad that we all stayed because I have learned a lot. I didn't know that aspect of Copilot Studio existed, the one where you're able to orchestrate yourself, and I'm already thinking of what I'll do with it. So thank you very, very much. And to those who are watching this recording, make sure you join the community so that you also get access to materials that presenters give. Thank you, everyone, and have a wonderful week ahead. Thank you, me too, for the
Thanks,
amazing
everyone.
session.
Bye-bye.
And thanks, Alexander, for joining. I know it was a short notice for you. Thank you, and bye to everybody.
Okay.